There is a fundamental law of physics called entropy. It states that all systems, whether they are stars, biological organisms, or corporations, naturally tend toward disorder and decay. If you leave a house alone, it rots. If you leave a relationship alone, it fades. If you leave a business alone, it dies. Most human beings spend their lives trying to reach a point of stability. We want to work hard so that one day we can stop working. We want to build the company so that one day we can enjoy the profits. We crave day 2, the day the struggle ends and the comfort begins. But for Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, this desire for comfort is not a goal. It is a disease. In his famous 2016 letter to shareholders, he outlined a philosophy that is more terrified of stasis than it is of failure. He wrote, "Day 2 is stasis, followed by irrelevance, followed by excruciating, painful decline, followed by death, and that is why it is always day 1. This is the core thesis of the Bezos psyche. He understands that the moment an organization, or a person, starts focusing on protecting what they have rather than building what they don't have, the clock starts ticking toward their extinction. To understand the man who became the wealthiest individual in modern history, you have to understand that he is not driven by greed. He is driven by a pathological fear of being day 2. He built a $1 trillion empire by forcing it to wake up every single morning with the anxiety and the hunger of a startup that is 1 month away from bankruptcy. This obsession with avoiding stagnation began long before Amazon existed. In the early 1990s, Bezos had a comfortable, high-paying job at a Wall Street hedge fund called D.E. Shaw. He was on the fast track to becoming a financial elite. He had the day 2 life already, security, status, and wealth. But he saw the internet growing at 2,300% per year, and he had an idea for an online bookstore. To make the leap, he didn't use a standard pro-con list or a SWOT analysis. He used a mental model he called the Regret Minimization Framework. He projected himself forward to age 80. He asked, "When I am 80 years old, rocking on my porch, will I regret leaving this Wall Street bonus?" The answer was no. Then he asked, "Will I regret not participating in this thing called the internet that I thought was going to be a really big deal?" The answer was an emphatic yes. This is a profound psychological tool. Most people make decisions based on fear of the present, fear of losing their current salary, fear of embarrassment, fear of the unknown. Bezos bypassed the present fear by focusing on the future regret. He realized that the pain of failure is acute. It hurts for a moment. But the pain of regret is chronic. It hurts forever. This framework allowed him to view safety not as a benefit, but as a risk. Staying at the hedge fund was the risky option because it guaranteed a future of what if. Leaving to start Amazon was the safe option because it guaranteed a life without regret, regardless of the outcome. When he finally launched Amazon, he instituted cultural symbols to enforce the day 1 mentality. The most famous of these is the door desk. In the early days, instead of buying proper desks, Bezos and his team went to Home Depot, bought solid wood doors and nailed legs to them. They were ugly, they were uncomfortable, and they were cheap. Even when Amazon became a public company worth billions, Bezos kept his door desk. Why? It was a totem. It was a physical reminder to everyone in the building that we do not spend money on things that do not matter to the customer. In a day 2 company, executives get corner offices, expensive chairs, and catered lunches. They begin to signal status to each other. They spend energy protecting their hierarchy. The door desk was a signal that status is irrelevant. It forced the culture to remain scrappy. This is a vital lesson for anyone trying to maintain high performance. As you become successful, the temptation is to upgrade your lifestyle to match your income. You buy the better car, the better clothes, the better office. But these things are sedatives. They make you comfortable. And as Bezos says, comfort is the precursor to death. By keeping the environment austere, he kept the hunger alive. He ensured that the company's dopamine hit came from winning, not from spending. This hunger was directed entirely at one target, the customer. Many companies claim to be customer-centric, but what they actually are is competitor-obsessed. They look at what their rivals are doing and try to do it slightly better. Bezos viewed this as a trap. If you are watching your competitor, you are waiting for them to move before you move. You are reactive. Bezos wanted to be proactive. He famously kept an empty chair in his most important meetings to represent the customer, the most important person in the room. He operated on the psychological belief that customers are divinely discontent. No matter how good your service is, they will always want something better, faster, and cheaper. He wrote, "Yesterday's wow quickly becomes today's ordinary." This insight is terrifying because it means you can never win. You can never cross the finish line. You are on a treadmill that is constantly speeding up. But for a day one mind, this is liberating. It means there is always a new problem to solve. While other CEOs were celebrating their quarterly earnings, Bezos was terrifying his investors by taking all the profits and reinvesting them into new, risky ventures like AWS or Prime. He refused to show a profit for nearly 2 decades. Why? Because taking a profit is a day 2 event. It implies you have finished building. Bezos was signaling that he would never finish building. This brings us to the final and most expansive aspect of the Bezos psychology, the time horizon. In a world where the average attention span is measured in seconds and the average CEO plans for 90 days, Bezos operates on a scale of decades or even centuries. He is currently spending $42 million to build a 10,000-year clock inside a mountain in West Texas. The clock is designed to tick once a year, with a cuckoo that comes out once per millennium. It seems like the indulgence of a mad billionaire, and perhaps it is, but symbolically it represents the antithesis of the modern world. It is a monument to long-term thinking. Bezos believes that if you extend your time horizon, you can solve problems that are impossible to solve in the short term. If you want to solve world hunger in a year, you will fail. If you want to solve it in a century, you might succeed. His space company, Blue Origin, is not trying to race SpaceX to Mars next year. Its motto is gradatim ferociter, step by step ferociously. He is trying to build infrastructure for the next 200 years of humanity. This is the ultimate motivationairy takeaway. Most of our stress, our anxiety, and our bad decisions come from short-term thinking. We want the result now. We want the physique now. We want the wealth now. Bezos teaches us that if you are willing to think in decades, you stop competing with everyone else, because nobody else is playing that game. You are alone on the track, running toward a vision that only you can see. Day 1 is not just a start date. It is a permanent refusal to accept that you have arrived. Because the moment you think you have arrived, the journey is over. And for Jeff Bezos, the journey is the only thing that matters.